An atheist convention in Alabama? Are you crazy? Find out more on Atheist Viewpoint. Hello and welcome to Atheist Viewpoint. I'm Dennis Horvitz.
And I'm David Silverman, and today's episode is about the SERAM, the Southeast Regional Atheist Meet that was held in Alabama at the end of January. And man, we had a great time.
I'm just so sorry I didn't make it this year.
It wasn't the same without you. It wasn't the same without you. Now,
you mean you probably got something done?
We got a lot done. Oh my goodness, we had really a tremendous convention. It was a regional convention, and it was the highest, I believe it was the largest regional convention in American atheist history. It was, in my personal opinion, the highest energy regional atheist convention that I've ever been to.
How many people were there?
200 people.
That's just for that part of the world?
Huntsville, Alabama.
Yes.
The original plan was we were hoping to get between 100 to 150. We booked the room for 150 and said we'd never get that many. We got 150, and then we opened the room up more, and we filled it to 200. We got 208 people, 208 sales, and there were actually people standing.
That's amazing.
In Huntsville, Alabama, for an atheist meet.
Well, you know, you and I were talking last week about how Alabama has been, arguably it's been maligned, but it's especially considering the article we covered last week about Governor Bentley making his ridiculously silly remarks and bigoted remarks. But by the same token, I've always felt that Alabama was, for the last 7 or 8 years, if not the last decade, been kind of the cutting edge of atheism in America.
Yeah.
And
I think it's because of the Alabamans.
Yes, my favorite atheists.
and it's kind of
forgive me, New York City atheists.
Well, yeah, you get to deal with the New York City atheists, huh?
So after that, Alabama atheists are a pleasure.
Well,
oh, I think I'm going to be fired.
Oh, you're toast.
I'm toast. I'm such toast.
I get your New York City atheists right here.
Yeah, you get your
The Alabama atheists, they're a special breed, and it's very interesting that you brought up New York City atheists,
right?
Because, the New York City atheist community is very broad and very alive
And active, right?
but relative to the number of atheists in New York,
Right.
It's tiny.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
Okay, I mean, you get. I gave a speech to the New York City atheists maybe a few months ago now.
That's right.
In fact, that's where we announced the It's a Myth billboard.
That's right.
There were maybe 50 people in the room. Now, the room was crowded.
For that room, that was
50,
good. That was
there were
a
50
good
people,
size, yeah.
and that's a good-sized room
Right.
For a monthly meeting, but there were millions and millions and millions of atheists in New York City alone.
Right, right. That's not even counting the rest of the state.
And that's not counting the rest of the state. That's not counting New Jersey.
Or the other boroughs.
Right, and that's right.
Or, this is in Manhattan.
So now you've got atheists in Huntsville, and they're coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Okay, and why is that? Because in Huntsville, Alabama, they're more repressed.
Yep.
Christianity is more oppressive.
Yep.
Again, last week we talked about the governor. If you're not a Christian, you're not a brother or sister of mine.
Right.
It's open bigotry out there, and
Right.
it's a different mentality. It's a very different mentality.
And as we mentioned last week, our good friend Blair Scott is in Alabama and the former Alabama state director. And one thing he said to me several years ago was that I think that the atheists in Alabama are kind of getting fed up, basically, with this business. And I think also, maybe even in the sense of Alabamans in general are getting a little tired of the stereotypical Alabama image that they have.
They are tired of it, and they're not deserving of it.
Right. I mean, they're much more so in the last several years.
Yeah. Alabama's coming along, and when we started the the local partnership program. Now, the local partnership program, Northern Alabama Free Thought Association is not officially a local partner.
Right.
Okay, it's an active community. It's not officially a local partner because they don't take dues yet, and they haven't officially signed up. But we wanted to show potential local partners out there what we'll be doing, and this is something that you're going to see a lot of. If you're a local partner, that means you're a local group. You're completely autonomous, but you have an activist bent. You do some activism. You're not merely a social group. You take dues. You're 2 years old, so you've got oomph. You've got staying power.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is we're going to invest time and money into those groups.
Right.
And the SERAM really shows what we mean. If you're a local partner, we're going to be putting up a billboard. We're going to be bringing a RAM to you. And we're going to be gearing the entire RAM. RAM is a regional atheist meet. We're going to be gearing it toward building you. Right. Now, yeah, when we went to this convention, when we did this convention, American Atheists made a profit. Okay? And we didn't actually intend to make a profit, but we did. And the reason
that's like so amazing.
It is. We made a profit.
There is a God.
Yeah. we made a profit. We earned about half a dozen life members, including a couple of life members who came out at the convention. Hello, Kathy.
And you had some great speakers there, including yourself.
We had some great speakers. But my point is that above and beyond all the benefit that we got as an organization from having the RAM, the North Alabama Free Thought Association gained 39 new members.
That's amazing. That's excellent.
39 new members for NAFA. Right. And they had their table. They sold stuff. Flash was there. The Florida Atheist and Secular Humanist was there.
Right.
They sold stuff. And we had...
the Secular Student Alliance.
The Secular Student Alliance was there. And
Ashley Paramore and...
Ashley wasn't there.
Right.
Liz Liddell was there,
right.
and Jesse Galiff was there.
Well, hello to them.
Yeah, hey. And the important thing is how much the event helped the other groups.
Yeah.
And that is the point.
Yeah.
Specifically the local groups. Yes, the Secular Student Alliance is wonderful to benefit, but they don't so much need help from American Atheists. They're a thriving national group.
Right.
And I look forward to working with them into the long term.
Yep.
But when you're talking about Flash and when you're talking about NAFA, these are local groups that need to be fortified. These are local groups that need to flourish. Okay? And it's our job as a national organization to push people, to draw people, I should say, to those groups so that they can flourish, so that they can grow, so that they can thrive.
Right.
So NAFA gained 39 new members at this event. And you know what was also great? During my talk, I asked how many people were there for the first time. It was their first atheist event ever. I would say nearly half of the audience.
Wow.
Nearly half of the audience.
That's excellent.
Had never been to an atheist convention ever. An atheist event.
That's amazing. That's just...
Now, those are the people who were drawn in by the billboard.
Right.
Okay? That's the billboard right there.
Right.
Okay? They may not have liked the billboard. Some people actually didn't like the billboard.
Right. But there's been, there's been healthy criticism. I think there's been criticism of the sign within our, the atheist community, but I think it's been mostly civil discourse and people people just kind of disagree. And
most of the time, you know, and we have Massimo's discussion, and we can get to that in a second.
Yeah, our friend Massimo Pigliucci.
Yeah, Massimo, who's been on this show several times, he respectfully and strenuously disagreed with the sign. We can just get to that in just a second.
Right.
But the point is that this whole model proved itself during this SERAM. Okay? The model has been proven. If you're considering a local partnership, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put up a billboard. We're going to attract people to you. We're going to bring you members. We're going to highlight you at our convention. We're going to highlight you nonprofit organization. We're here for the cause, and the cause benefits from the local groups flourishing. It's all part of the big picture. It's part of our job to make you guys flourish and make you guys grow.
Right.
So,
and this just to give a brief list of the people who were there. Sean Fairclough.
yeah, he's awesome.
From
He gave 2 talks.
The Secular
Coalition for America.
Secular Coalition for America. Richard Haynes.
Atheist Nexus.
Edwin Kagan, of course, who's our own legal director.
Yep.
Paul Provenza.
Paul Provenza. You know, I had a chance to hang out with Paul Provenza at length.
Mm-hmm.
He's really cool.
Right.
He's very cool.
I don't know.
He's very interested. He's a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
He's very cool. He's very interested in the movement. He's going to be working with us in the future. He may be coming to our national convention.
Excellent.
And he may be helping us out with future efforts, which is very exciting. The man knows a lot of people, much like our other friend Penn Jillette.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that we can really get these stars to help us grow as a movement. Paul Provenza seems to be, I mean, I spent a couple days with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent I had a lot of good discussion with him. He's really a nice guy.
Right.
He's really a cool guy. He's very smart, too.
And one of the other speakers there was one of my favorites, because I've interviewed him several times, Daryl Ray.
Daryl.
Author of The God Virus.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great book. Have you ever read that? It's very interesting. I don't know that everyone would agree with every word, but I mostly agree with it, and it's a very interesting. It's a very interesting take.
He has some very interesting research that he's working on.
Mm-hmm.
As far as
he's a fun guy too. He's just a really fun guy.
He is a fun guy.
Yeah, no, Daryl.
He is a fun guy, and his I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his wife, Julie. She seems to be extremely nice as well. But yeah, Daryl is fun to talk to. He's extremely intelligent, and I love that. Yeah. He's very smart. He knows what he's talking about.
Likes to laugh. He's a great guy.
And if you haven't read The God Virus, you should. I believe the website is thegodvirus.com.
Yeah. If you just Google it.
Google The God Virus. It's a good. It's a good book. It's very short, but it's very good.
Yeah.
So we had this event. Like I said, just to give everybody a rough idea. We had a fundraising dinner that night. It went from a Saturday to a Sunday. We had a fundraising dinner. We raised $10,000 for the Yule Legal Fund. Wow. We have a legal challenge, folks. Stephen Yule and Helen Mitzman have put together a legal challenge fund. And we have a $50,000 legal challenge. So every dollar that goes into the legal challenge gets matched. And we're trying to raise $50,000. It'll be matched to become $100,000. We have 2 legal cases right now that may be going to the Supreme Court. We're going to need help. And this is why we're going to need it. So if you have donation dollars, your dollars will be doubled. And that $10,000 that we got will be doubled.
So it's now $20,000.
It is.
20.
It is. And that's a great thing. And we got this from Alabama, from Huntsville, Alabama.
You gotta love that.
We sold a chunk of shirts, a chunk of books. Edwin sold many of his Baubles of Blasphemy 2nd edition books.
Fun book book to read.
That's
Edwin
a fun
Kagan.
book.
Yeah,
that's a fun book. But really, what kicked it off, what really clinched it, was the energy. People were this place was buzzing. People were happy.
I gotta tell you, you're breaking my heart, because I really wish I had been there. I really wish I had.
I wish you'd been there too. You would have enjoyed yourself.
I'm sure I would have
tremendously.
Because I've been promising Blair that I was going to go down to Alabama at some point.
Oh, you missed your opportunity.
Yeah.
And they got rocket ships in the middle of the street.
Wow.
You're just driving down. You know how when you're driving down the street in the middle of Utah, you see big church steeples. In Huntsville, Alabama, you see rocket ships on the street. It was great. You can just go up and see them. Saturn V, a Saturn VIII, just sitting in the middle of the street. It's pretty darn cool.
Right.
It's pretty darn cool. So let's talk a little bit about the sign. The sign, we don't have a graphic for it for this show, but it's all scams.
They're all scams, and it was to advertise the Southeast Regional Atheist Meet.
Right.
And it generated controversy not just in the general public, but within the atheist community itself.
You know, I was. Go ahead.
I got to tell you, because when I first saw it, I was, because you and I talked about it. I was somewhat nervous about it myself. I don't know that I'm completely comfortable with it, but I will say this: if the intention was to draw attention to the organization and to bring people out, well, as the conference, as you've just said, basically exceeded our wildest
Expectations.
expectations.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
for
yeah.
that, I guess there are.
We're pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're pushing the boundaries, but we're still telling the truth. They are all scams.
Right.
And
Well,
yes,
can
they
I-
are.
can
I
I-
stand by the statement.
Can I just our good friend Massimo Pigliucci on his blog, Rationally Speaking.
Before we get into what he says,
Okay.
let's go into how he said it.
Okay.
Because there's a couple different ways to criticize.
Right.
Okay. And I'm going to call out some people that I won't name because I don't want to call them out by name. But there are some people who really trashed this billboard for stupid reasons.
Mhm.
They didn't like the color. They didn't like the graphic. When was the last time anybody judged a billboard based on color or graphic or font? Font. Folks, get away from the font. It's a font. It's not important. If you're worried about the
let's
font
face
or
it,
the color.
And we fought to be alone. Sorry.
Oh, that was awful.
That right. Well.
That was awful.
I couldn't help myself.
We fought to be alone.
We fought to be alone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, America. That's.
I fought to cut that part out of the tape.
I bet they won't.
Oh my goodness, you interrupted my train of thought for that?
Just for that. Yeah, I'm
If
sorry.
you're talking about font, if you're talking about color, if you're talking about the prettiness of the board, you have nothing to say, okay?
Right.
Because I've never looked at a billboard and said, oh no, they're using the wrong font.
See, now if we were pushing an atheist fashion magazine, that would have been an appropriate
Get
criticism.
over yourself. I mean, get over
You know.
yourself, really. Okay, as
Right.
far as whether or not the font was good, whether or not the picture was pretty, whether or not the color was right, get over yourself. The billboard was a huge success, and I can show it with dollars and figures. That's just, in my opinion, that's people picking a fight over nothing.
Right.
Your billboard is ugly. Yeah, it's a wild, huge success, but your billboard is ugly. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I don't get that. But then there's Massimo.
Right.
Massimo had some serious issues with the message.
Right.
Fine. And what did he do? He wrote up a response. He wrote up an I have a problem with this. He did give me a heads up
Right.
saying that he would be saying this.
And a chance to respond.
Oh, 2 chances to respond.
Right.
Okay. He let Ed respond and he let me respond, Ed Buckner.
Mhm.
And he let me respond. And, there was debate around it. And yes, he got a nice publicity push. He got a nice bump, I'm sure, in traffic. And he got some crap for doing this in order to get publicity for himself. I don't think that's what he did. And I'm not accusing Massimo of doing that. But he was accused of, just putting this out because he wanted to get publicity for himself. I don't think he did that.
No. No, I don't think so.
I don't think he did that. But what he did,
No.
he put out, he lobbed a couple good fastballs at me, but he gave me warnings that they were coming.
Right.
And Massimo charges that, the part is not quite right. They're all scams is not quite right.
Can I actually read the 3 points he made?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He said there are 3 reasons why this is a bad idea, referring to the sign. First, the ad is simply making a preposterous claim that cannot possibly be backed up by factual evidence, which means that technically it is lying. But see below for another interpretation. He says, second, it's a really bad PR move, even if the target audience is in fact limited to closet atheists and agnostics. Third, it's an even worse PR move when it comes to the public perception of atheists considered more broadly. So, why don't we do this?
Well, let's take those points individually. And
Yes,
I'll respond to each way.
That's right.
But when he talks about the lie, he says see below. What does he say when he says see below?
Well, the scam, beginning from the top of the list, a scam is defined as a dishonest scheme,
Right.
an intentional fraud.
Right.
Now, it's certainly again, according to Massimo, it's certainly the case that some religious leaders have made knowingly fraudulent claims to their followers in order to either make money or otherwise unethically gain access to power or sexual favors. Wow, they do that?
Amazingly.
Thought they were so holy. But to imply that all or even most religious leaders and communities knowingly do this is an extraordinary claim, which simply does not even begin to be backed up by the necessary extraordinary evidence.
Okay. Can I stop there? Can I stop you there, or is it?
Well, right. Okay.
This is one of the main points. In fact, the main point of our disagreement.
Right.
Is whether or not a scam can be multi-level, and I maintain that it can be, and he maintains that it can't be. As far as Massimo is concerned, a scam includes two parties: a scammer and a scamee. Okay. I maintain that a scam has two parties, but a scamee can also be a scammer unknowingly. In other words, that there are preachers out there who really believe that what they're preaching, but that doesn't make it true, and that doesn't make it not a scam.
Right.
Okay. My point is that
in the sense that the fact that you might believe a lie doesn't make the lie true.
Exactly,
right.
And it doesn't make it not a scam. And
right.
The example that I use, and this is, our contention here is a good analogy is homeopathy.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Homeopathic medicine is a scam.
It's a scam. Right.
It's a total scam. Okay. They're selling nothing for something.
Right.
Which is exactly what religion is doing.
Right.
Okay. There are practitioners of homeopathy.
Right.
Who sell it, who believe it, but it's still a scam. There are people who swear by it, but it's still a scam. Way up at the top, people know they're lying.
Right.
It's a scam. And I'm saying that, yeah, at the top of all of religion, people know it. I am. And I'm saying that religion is a scam on a larger scale. There's 2 minutes left. The other 2 points were?
Secondly, it's a bad PR move, in the sense that even if you're just limiting to closet atheists and agnostics.
It's not a bad PR move. It's a great PR move because it shows that
Apparently
there are different kinds of atheists, and we are a different kind of atheist. We are in your face, and we don't care if it pisses off the religious people. As to whether or not we're trying to convert theists, hell no. We can't convert theists with a billboard.
Well, first,
we're targeting the closeted atheists.
Thirdly, Massimo said it's an even worse PR move when it comes to public perception of atheists considered more broadly. And I think that's probably where I had my misgivings, my reservations about it, because
I get it. We only have enough time.
Right.
So my point is this. We're getting the message out that there are different kinds of atheists.
Actually, just to say one thing, I was actually surprised by the theistic reaction. It wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. And it surprised me.
They're getting it out. They're getting the word out that there are multiple kinds of atheists. There are multiple attitudes within atheism. And if you're a member, or if you're wondering about atheism, there are different places where you can go. And there are different billboards, and there are different attitudes.
In any case, we're getting a high sign.
Massimo was a gentleman. He let us respond. That's the way you argue. You don't blindside, and you don't bitch about fonts.
And
fonts.
Maybe at some point we can have Massimo on so that we can kind of.
Yeah, we could put on boxing gloves and stuff.
Oh, it'll be great fun. We'll have I'm sure it'll be fine. Just so he can put his. It's always great to have Massimo on, regardless of what the subject. So.
Sure, absolutely. Okay. He's always going to be a friend. The American Atheist National Convention is in Des Moines, April 21st to the 24th. Students come for $20. Christopher Hitchens, P.Z. Myers, Jeff Charlotte, Matt Dillahunty, Greta Christina, and a whole bunch of comedy as well. Come to the convention. We'll see you there. I'm David Silverman.
Dennis Horvitz.
Thank you for watching the Atheist Viewpoint, where reason reigns and reality rules.
Bye-bye.